Hi, Trudy again. This time I'm going to be a little more, um, I don't know, insightful rather than talking about all the physical issues that happen and the social problems. Because I've come to realize that in this process of learning that you've got something wrong with you that can very well take your life, it's very much like that grieving process I went through when my husband was killed. Uh, there's that place where you're in denial, and I tell people sometimes I'm Cleo, I'm the queen of denial, uh, and so I've been there. I think I'm leaving that place, and then the final stage is going to be acceptance, and I think I'm getting pretty close to that. I've accepted that I do have this disease, COPD. I've accepted that probably it is in the stage that the doctor has told me, and that my death, while not imminent, is not so far off. When he says we're talking about quality of life rather than quantity of life, I I think that I got to get serious about it. I don't think that I'll die like in the next few months. I think I got maybe a couple of years, but you never know. You know, with this disease, you can die a slow, lingering death where you're gasping for air, or you can die suddenly of a heart attack while the heart tries to compensate for the oxygen that the lungs are not producing in the bloodstream. I'll never know, and I don't want to dwell on that. I just want to kind of set my things in order, and I have taken care of my will. I already had a will, but I've updated it, and I think I'll update it one more time because I don't like some of what I've done with it. Um, uh, so now I want to talk about what comes after this life. This life ends with death, and what comes after. A lot of people think nothing, but I can't go along with that. My mother, when she was very ill, she was ill for a long time, and then died when I was 15. She went 6 weeks in a coma, and then died. And they had stopped working on her, and were walking out of the room when she jumped up on the table and was alive. And she told this story of having been in paradise and spoken with Jesus. Although she did not see his face, she saw his outline against a bright light. And she uh, came back to earth at that time, and that's when she sat up on the table. A lot of people didn't believe her, and a lot of people to this day don't believe those kind of things. They think that they're hallucinations. It's misfiring in the brain. It's caused by drugs that you're being given at the time. A lot of different explanations. But I had an experience when I was about 31 where I stepped into a bathroom, and I am not on drugs, not taking any kind of medications. Um, no reason for me to have my brain misfiring. I was just an average 31-year-old mom. I stepped into a bathroom on my way to the television set to watch my soaps for the afternoon. And as soon as I closed the door, this room filled with this bright white light. So blinding kind of white light. And I wanted to escape. I turned around to grab the door handle, and it was gone. It was just evaporated into this light. There was no door, there was no ceiling, no walls, no floor, no toilet, no nothing. And in fact, not even my own body. I could not look down and see my hands. It was just all about this bright white light. And instantly, I started seeing my life replaying in a series of memories of events, uh, things that had happened between interactions between me and other people, where I had been mean-spirited in one way or another, and I had hurt these people, and I had caused some damage inside them by my words or my actions. Um, it's not that I was a terrible, terrible person. I was just unthinking, and I think I was very insecure at the time, too. I tended to try to make myself look better by making others look worse. So as I was being shown this, I was not being condemned. There was no voice saying, shame on you. There was no feeling that I was being reprimanded. It was more like love, just love, love, love. And I was just being shown to be informed that this love was more than that this life was about more than that. I cried. I felt like I cried a river. I'd never cried and felt so heartbroken in my life because of what I had done to these people. After, I don't know, maybe a few minutes of going through this, and it just seemed, I saw a whole lifetime in a very short period of time. The light kind of faded away. I saw the door handle. And rather than just race out of there, I took the door handle, I peeked out. I wasn't sure if what had happened to me in that bathroom had happened outside that bathroom too, but apparently it had not. So I went on out, sat down, and I watched myself. But my mind and my heart were forever changed. There were some people living in the apartment complex, a lesbian couple, that I had been mean-spirited with. To their face, I'd been nice. Behind their back, I had not been so nice. I had been very judgmental. I had been very spiteful and spoke meanly of them. And immediately that conviction came on into my mind, and I started changing that very day. And my life was forever changed. I had always believed in God, even as a young child, but I had come to believe that God did not love me because of all the bad things that had happened to me in childhood, and where those bad things had landed me in life. So it took me a while, even after this, to come to accept that God loved me and to learn about Jesus Christ and to begin committing myself to that. But I was forever changed in that moment in that bathroom. My heart was forever changed. And any time in my life since then, when I'm thinking that things are not going well, and they're not going well because there's something wrong with me, and God doesn't love me, and he loves everybody else, but he didn't love me, all those old thoughts from my childhood, anytime those come back to me, I always remember that, and I think now, that's why he did it. That's what it took for me. I don't know if he hadn't done it, if he had done it some other way. A million people could have stood in my face and told me about God, but I wouldn't have listened because I was convinced he did not love me, and yet he did. He loves us all, just like they say. So I know that in the end, when my death comes, I'm going into that light. I know what that light is. It's not a bad thing. The death may be bad. I'm not looking forward to that at all. It's a scary thing to think about that. But what's on the other side is not scary. I want to be here as long as I can be. I feel like I have so much left to do. But when it's time to go, I'm sure where I'm going. Whether I deserve it or not, God loves me. And I would like for everyone else to know, God loves you too. He may not come to you in that bright white light. Maybe that's not the way you need to see it. Maybe that's not how you need to feel it. Maybe that's not the way he's going to introduce himself to you. But he loves you. And when all is said and done, and my children come back and look at these little videos that I'm making, I want them to remember that. God loves them. Every one of them have committed their lives to Jesus, have been baptized, and that's been something so important to me. And God doesn't leave his people behind. He's the ultimate soldier. He does not leave his people behind. So I'll be seeing all of you. And I want you to remember that. Next time I come up and do a video, it's not going to be all serious like this. But just because I came to understand that my children will be watching these later on, and I haven't told them about it yet. So later they will come in and they will see these videos. And I want them to know how deeply I love them. And to not be afraid for me. Don't be sad for me. Because I have gone to be with my husband, Robert. With my sister, Lucy. with my father and my mother and all the people of my childhood that I loved. I'm there, and I'm waiting for them, my children, my grandchildren. Don't come too soon. Let God be the one to choose, and I'll see you then. I love you. I love you, love you, love you, all of you.